One of the videos I like to watch quite regularly is a video channel on YouTube by a guy called Ian Roberts, and he's an American artist, and he gives advice on how to paint landscapes and things. One recent video he did about 5 ways to master anything, to become a master, to become great at anything, any new skill. And I thought, oh, this is maybe good, not just for artists or people who want to be an artist, but for people learning a language or really anybody learning anything. I'm a teacher, you're a student, so it might be useful for you and useful for me to think about. So, okay, here's some five top skills, five ideas, principles to consider. Number one is learn the principles, not techniques. It's hard to do something meaningful if you don't know why you are doing it. Yeah, if you're learning anything new, learn the principles, not the techniques. Techniques are like the little things. For example, with painting, you might learn in a watercolor, you should put your light colors first and your dark colors second. Well, actually, that's a principle. If you know that, you put light colors first and dark colors second, and then any painting you do, then that's the principle of it, not the technique. Um, so it's looking at the big picture. We say, what's the main point? Another example of a principle is start big and then go small. Whenever you're in art, whenever you're drawing something, draw the big shapes first and then do the details. Don't start with the details. If you do, then everything will get out of shape. That's a principle. So anything you're learning, there are different principles. If you're learning to play the guitar, you need to learn the principles of a scale, I guess, da 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 da, dun, and how to make the chords. And then any song you learn will have similarities, but if you know the chords, it makes it easy. Right? Learn the principles first, not the techniques. Okay. Number two, how to practice. And this, he had an interesting point. It's not the amount of time you practice. Like people always say, oh, you need 10,000 hours. Well, maybe. It's not the amount of time that you spend practicing, it's what you choose to practice. Imagine if you're learning a piano piece and it's a Chopin, and there's one part that's really difficult, and you can't do it. Well, that's the part you should practice, right? Not the whole piece, because it's the bit that you find difficult, maybe. Right? So that's a deliberate practice. And another way of thinking about that is number three, what to practice. Don't do things that are too easy, and also don't do things that are too hard. Right? If it's too easy, you're not really learning anything. If it's too hard, you get discouraged and unhappy, and oh, it's too hard, I give up. He suggests you should do something that's about 10% more difficult than you're comfortable with. So maybe if you're learning English, maybe it's some new vocabulary that you're not quite sure about, or a grammar point that you're not quite sure about, but you kind of half understand. That's good to study. But don't practice the same thing again and again and again. That's too easy, maybe. Number four, overcome resistance. Whenever you create something, you will feel fear that what you do is not good enough. Mm. Yeah, this is true in art. If you make a painting, no matter what you do, you think, it's not very good. And it's not very good. Oh no, I'm such a bad artist. Well, if you feel like that, keep going. Do the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one. I think we always feel that it's not very good. Maybe that's the same for learning English. Oh, I can speak English, but I'm not very good. Really? Well, keep speaking, keep going. That's the solution. Is you just have to keep moving, because you might record yourself now, and then 5 years later record yourself, and you go, "Oh wow, I've really improved." I hope. But this feeling of not being good enough is quite common, and it never disappears. You just have to keep going, get through it. Finally, number five, learn self-evaluation. That means look at your own work and see if it's getting better. How can you do that? Well, you look at other people's work and apply that understanding to your own work. If it's a painting, look at some great paintings and then say, why is my painting not as good as that? And you evaluate, you judge your own stuff. If you're worried about your speaking English, well, listen to some good speakers, or as you do, and say, well, why are they doing, what are they doing that's different from what I do? How can I be more like that? And you evaluate it, you judge it yourself. And actually, to be honest, you can begin to teach yourself. You don't always need a teacher if you know what you need to work on. Well, I need to work on vocabulary, or I need more confidence, maybe. Okay, so those are 5 points. Okay, I got 3 questions down here. Number 1, what would you most like to master? What would you like to become a master at, to be really good at? Number 2, are these principles true for learning English? These 5 points here, are they true for learning English? And number 3, have you ever faced personal resistance to a project? How do you overcome resistance? You know, have you ever finished something and thought, oh, it's not very good. Oh, it's so bad. I don't want to show anybody. I'm too shy. How did you keep going? Okay, 3 things to think about. I will talk to you soon. And yeah, good luck. Okay, right. I shall stop the share.